Hello and welcome to the Punchline. I'm your comic strip critic and we're doing something a little different here today. We're going to be taking a look at an actual horror storyline. No. While nearly nude old men can be quite terrifying, that's not what I meant. No, I want to see an actually genuinely chilling and spine-tingling tale, which is a rare treat in the newspaper comics. I don't believe I've ever seen horror stories in the comics before, likely because it wouldn't fit the overall mood of a newspaper's comic section, and I doubt it'd be approved by editors. Stories that are too frightening would scare up younger readers expecting to see Snoopy, after all. Two men died where they stood as their minds simply broke. 'Twas a merciful fate when Cthulhu awoke. Wasn't that a nice story? Did you two enjoy it? I'm a terrible godfather. And while a Cthulhu comic strip would be interesting, somehow I really doubted it'd be all that scary, so what comic strip can we look to for those Halloween thrills? Not a bad choice at all. If there's one comic strip that seems perfect for the holiday, it'd be Mark Tutulli's creation. But here's the thing, Leo could practically be the monster in a scary movie if he applied himself. But that makes Leo a comedy strip, and while it's a very, very good comedy strip, I love Leo, it's not really all that frightening, so it's not what I want to be reading right now. So what comic can we look to for those genuine, chilling, spine-tingling Halloween thrills? No, come on. What in Garfield could be considered scary? Oh. Well, yeah. Actually, yeah, that could work. Okay, a little bit of an explanation is required here. My feelings on Garfield have been made quite clear in the past. Most of my complaints revolve around the fact that, essentially, for all the massive merchandising that the Fat Cat promotes, nothing actually happens in his comic strip. For all of his massive wealth and popular success, I find Garfield to be the dullest strip in my newspaper. But somehow, Jim Davis had a very interesting idea in October of 1989. He wanted to scare people, so he asked them what they fear most. The majority of the people he talked to said, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna tell you. Why ruin the surprise? Let's not waste any more time. Let's dive straight into that most horrific and spine-tingling of holidays and celebrate with Garfield's Halloween. Brr, there's a chill in here this morning. What an eerie sensation. This doesn't feel like my home. Be honest. Does this look like a regular Garfield strip? Look at the lighting on the cat's blanket, the shadow he casts on the green floor. Compare it to a regular strip from 1989. Heck, compare it to a regular Garfield strip from today. Look at the effort and style that was put into this. I'm pleasantly surprised and also kind of confused. Is this really Jim Davis's artwork here? John? Odie? Anybody home? I'm alone. You have no idea how alone you are, Garfield. Again, great artwork. That's more furniture in the Arbuckle household than I think I've ever seen in the comic. And that tilted angle is great. Oh, jeez, I can't keep it up. I've got to find something to nitpick about here. Okay, let's start off with Garfield's punctuation, or lack thereof. This is something that's always bothered me in a large number of comics. Put a period on the end of your sentence. This is something that kindergarten teachers would mark points off on, so why is it that a multi-billion-dollar franchise can get away with it? There! One little dot! That's all you need. Why is that so hard? Why am I being a better spell checker than the entire staff who writes these comic strips? Steady, Garfield. There must be a good reason why the house is empty. John must be at the grocery. Oh. Well, that got creepy in a hurry there. And I actually empathize with him for once. have you ever had that happen to you when you wake up or you arrive home and no one's around and you wonder where they all are? If you've got an overactive imagination, that can actually mess with your head a little bit. And again, the artwork is really good. It's over the top and stylized and is great at setting the mood with its exaggerated lines and the way that the house seems beat up and run down, and the colors have this great sense of drab loneliness and isolation. Where did this effort suddenly come from? My home has been abandoned. No one has lived here for years. But that means I haven't lived here for years. What's that? I wonder what he found. No, that's too obvious. Maybe it's the room where his deepest fear is.
Of course. Who else?
John! Odie! You're home! Hello, Garfield. Have some food. Locked fast within a time when he no longer exists, Garfield grapples with his greatest fear. Loneliness. It's odd how the normal world of Garfield is all flat colors and even lighting, but it's the abandoned household that has more attention to detail placed in it. Also, Odie's nose can apparently bend door frames using magic now. Magic being channeled through his nose? I guess that makes him related to Genie. And is John holding that food bowl? Because it's in his left hand in both panels, but it's red in this one. So did he take off an oven mitt between panels? Or does he have lobster claws for hands? Actually, that'd make for a really good Halloween costume. Actually, if you look really closely, it's the same red as Odie's tongue, so maybe the pooch is holding it up on his slobbering, panting, 6-foot-long tongue. Well, in the end, it doesn't matter because Garfield's alone. After years of taking life for granted, Garfield is shaken by a horrifying vision of the inevitable process called time. He has only one weapon: denial. I don't want to be alone! Want some breakfast, Garfield? Who needs it? I need you! An imagination is a powerful tool. It can tint memories of the past, shade perceptions of the present, or paint a future so vivid that it can entice or terrify, all depending upon how we conduct ourselves today. So that was Garfield's Halloween, and it was good. Yes, that, thank you. I can't force myself to say it. I'm being completely serious. This is surprisingly unnerving and quite effective as a Halloween story. All those employees and friends that Jim Davis interviewed for his story said that what they feared most was being alone. So Davis decided to play that fear to its full potential and came up with something really unique and memorable. It almost feels like a Twilight Zone episode. In fact, it almost is like a certain Twilight Zone episode. See, this is something that more comics need to do from time to time. Mix things up, throw your readers for a loop, give them something to talk about. And this was a great way to do it. I wish Jim Davis would take more creative risks with his fat cat. I'm your comic ship critic, and happy Halloween. I just want people to know that I actually do love my godchildren very much. Okay, or not, you can make a liar out of me too, that's fine.